and their cumulative is a minimum of 2.3, okay, to be able to get into that program, and that's in all of those courses. You have to have at least a 2.3. Completion of English 1 and 2, college algebra, or higher math with a grade of C or better. So it's always important to make sure that you guys are looking at particular programs that you are wanting to go into and that you're taking those courses right away. Again, you don't want to get stuck at that 6th semester and that's like do or die in that last part. So you want to make sure that you're mapping out everything and making sure you're taking those classes and getting those grades that you're going to need. And then you have to be officially accepted into the School of Business. If you're interested, I do have a couple of those packets. So it will have that application and it has more information on that. Okay? All right. Application deadlines, there's 2 of them. So there's one coming up, which is on the 15th. Michelle said if you guys need any help, you guys are definitely more than welcome to come in. We can look over that packet to make sure that you have everything in there. You know, it's very important that you get this in because if you do not get accepted into any of these programs, you're not going to be able to come back to Haskell. So you have to be accepted into the program. What? For business? Do they have one for business? No, we did not. Isn't it the statement?
Yeah, it's the statement.
Okay. Oh, so where's that at? I didn't see a personal statement.
I think it's a further statement.
Okay, so real quick while we look for this, what is one way to make sure that you have all your requirements? What do you think?
Talk to your advisor.
Talk to your advisor. What else? You can talk to, who else can you talk to? To Trio, yes. Also, you can talk to somebody in that particular department program. They're very helpful, very knowledgeable of everything that you're going to need in there. So if you can build that relationship with that advisor or instructor, is going to be very helpful. So you're going to need to complete the application. You have to have your official transcripts from each of your colleges or universities if you have attended anywhere else. 2 letters of reference, recommendation letters outside of the business department. So again, it's always important to build those relationships with people on campus because you never know if you're going to ever need that recommendation letter. You're going to have to turn in a resume and submit a personal essay. And the essay would be provided by the School of Business. And it needs to be double spaced and typed. So again, making sure that you're having those professional skills. And then also completing a degree checklist to choose that concentration. Okay, so those are some of the things. Yes?
Just to elaborate a little bit more on the personal essay, this is one of the ways that you were evaluated. So if you have a poorly written essay, they will not accept you into the program. I've known of people that were not accepted because their essay was poorly written. So make sure that you do a draft, you have somebody proofread it for you, go to tutor.com, upload it, have them proofread it for you. You have all different kinds of resources. I've helped several times with people with their essays, so definitely make sure you proofread your essay because you don't want that to be your determining factor whether or not you get into the School of Business because they will use that as an evaluation to see your writing skills.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, so this is kind of just giving you a little bit of information about some of those different jobs and then looking at those different salaries of those business majors. Again, in business, you can kind of really go in any area that you want to because of these different skill sets that you're going to be receiving. So.
Hello and welcome to Business Administration Salary HQ.com. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about business administration and all the information about it. What is a business administrator? Business administrator works in all types of offices. We work for both small startup businesses as well as large organizations. The organizations can be technology, health, manufacturing, sales, and even non-profit companies. A business administrator does the basic tasks needed to be done at an organization. What does a business administrator oversee? building scheduling, telecommunications, record keeping, transportation services, technological resources, safety standards, insurance plans. How to become a business administrator. Get a degree in business administration
Yay! Okay.
or human resources,
So that's where we're at with
finances,
that.
or
So does anybody have any questions about the business program? Now, they do have a lot of opportunities if you're looking at internships. They do a lot of mock interviews, so giving you opportunities to actually practice the skills that you guys learn in the classroom, so that way when you are ready to leave Haskell, you're prepared, and you also start building those networks. So that's very important to do that. I think, is it every semester or every spring where they bring Walmart in? I think it's every spring. You're in business, right? Or you're going into business?
Want to?
Okay, is it in the spring that they do that?
I'm not sure. I was gonna ask you too, like, for any of these things, when is a good time to apply for it? Like,
Well,
when you're a freshman or a sophomore, or after you have completed the
so what you want,
English or math?
so what you want to do is, again, Ron was talking about looking at that catalog. Okay, so the catalog has all of those different degrees that you might be interested in. So you want to start looking at that and start thinking about, are these the courses, or is this a program that I'm going to be, that's going to be good for me, beneficial? Okay, so sometimes somebody would be like, oh, and this is just an example, I want to be a doctor, but I hate biology. Okay, so those two things kind of go hand in hand. So understanding what are going to be the obligations for that particular program. So looking at the catalog and then actually talking to either somebody that's in the program and then talking to an instructor is going to be very helpful. But as a freshman, you should be already thinking about that, and then start networking, start talking to the instructors, start getting the classes that you're in now. So like next semester, start thinking about what courses are going to fit into that degree program. Because you don't want to get to that last semester and then start trying to plug classes in when you should have already taken some of those courses.
So on this second, when you open up the packet, it says here completion of 45 college credit hours. So if you are currently at 40, they won't accept you because you have to have completed 45 college credit hours. I know that for a fact because I've had about a good handful of students, at least 5, that have tried to apply for the School of Business and were denied based on the fact that they did not complete 45 college credit courses, or 45 college credit hours. So each program is just a little bit different. I think AIS, they might have some credits tied to it as well. But each program is just slightly different. School Business is 45 credit hours. So once you complete it, then apply.
Yes.
Why do they always try to tell you just to take liberal arts or like whatever?
Well,
Okay, so are you asking about just the general?
Like general,
advisors? And I think a lot of times they are trying to help students just take those basic courses. So those would pertain to any of those degree programs. But by that first semester, you should already be thinking about what program you're going to go into, because then at that point, you should go and switch your advisor to somebody who's in that particular area. That way that you know that you're taking the right courses. And then you're also able to talk with that advisor. Hey, I'm thinking about this area. What do you think? Oh, I know so-and-so. This is what you should take, this, and that. And so they're going to give you those resources that you're going to need to be successful in that course, that area. So once you do come here, they're just going to give you any advisor. But after your first semester, your second semester, you want to go ahead and start trying to find an advisor who's in the area that you want to go into. Okay, so if you want to look at doing that yourself, changing your advisor and making sure that you're getting the right classes. And then again, making sure that you come and talk with us so that you are taking those courses, so we don't have to be like, you took a whole semester and none of these courses counted to the degree program. And we've had students who've done that. They were like trying to put all those courses, they're like, well, maybe it fits in this degree program or this degree program. So you have to start being mindful about what degree program you're going to go into. Does that help? Okay, supposed to be over. I did get my my bachelor's in American Indian. Yes.
I have a question real quick. Let's say like I'm deciding I like communication, and there's mass communication, there's media communication, there's all kinds of communication. But to get your bachelor's in one of the programs here, there's either the education program or the business program, and I'm kind of stuck in between.
Okay, so you're going to want to look at, in that particular area, so here's the one thing that people don't realize is you can get your bachelor's in AIS, and then you can get your master's in something totally different. So I got my bachelor's in American Indian Studies, and I got my master's in conflict management, alternative dispute resolution. So there, do you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, I just kind of want to elaborate a little bit on that. So if you're considering elementary ed and business, so my question for you, you don't have to answer it out loud, just think about it. Where do you see yourself 5 years after you graduate? What do you see yourself doing? What career field do you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself working? And one thing you need to keep in mind too when I'm asking this is bachelor's degrees, they're door openers. They're door openers is what they are. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, your door is going to be open this much. Once you get a bachelor's degree, it opens a little bit more. A master's degree, more. Doctorate, even more. So their door openers is what they are. I got my degree in elementary ed. I'm not working with elementary education, but this particular position that I have calls for a degree in education. That is one of the requirements. So it's a door opener, but if you are thinking about working with kids, teaching kids in a classroom setting of any type, K through 12, my recommendation is if you want to stay here, get elementary ed and then go on and get a master's in something else, but you need to be certified in order if you're going to teach in any state at any school. You need to have a certification. You need to be certified to teach. Otherwise, you will not be hired as a teacher because you have to have that basic knowledge of how to teach children. You need to learn how to evaluate yourself as an educator because there's going to be times you're not going to know how to, you're going to have all these kids with all these different unique learning. You know, we all learn differently, and so you have to be mindful of that, and so you have to, as an educator, you have to look at yourself and you have to reevaluate yourself after every lesson. And being in a school of education, they teach you how to do that. It's just like that. Like it's not even, once you learn it, it's not something you even have to think about. It just comes to you like that. You're like, okay, this student didn't get this. Why didn't this student get this? Okay, maybe I need to address this student this way. So if you're thinking about teaching in a classroom, you need to get those foundations of how to teach, to work with children or adolescents or, you know, young adults. Otherwise, you won't get hired. So
More or less, I was thinking of independent communicator, like a public speaker doing seminars.
Okay.
And I wanted to incorporate like safety measures or
Yep.
something to do business.
Business.
It seems like more.
Yep, it would
Yep.
be more business because
Yep.
it would be to a different audience. So what, you know, again, elementary education is going to be based on adolescents from K through,
actually K through, it's elementary ed here.
Okay.
So K through 6, but you can go on to get your master's in a different
Okay.
content.
But I
but
can
it's the
also
12,
speak.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's K
In a
to
school.
Yeah, it's K to 12. Now, if you want to teach, like say you want to teach university, you have to have that master's degree in that specific area. So I could teach in conflict management. Michelle could teach in her area, but I could not teach American Indian Studies because I only have a bachelor's degree. So if you're looking at being an instructor or working at the college level, then you want to look at getting a master's degree or a doctorate degree.
Okay.
Okay, so that answers your question?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go to AIS, or Indigenous American Indian Studies. It's changed since I graduated, so we'll go through this. And who's interested in this program? You're interested in this program? Okay, so there is a wide range of different things that you can do with this degree. A lot of people are like, you can only be a teacher, or you can only work in for the tribe. That's not true. This program is very open. Again, like Michelle said, it opens the door so that you can kind of really specialize in your bachelor's or master's degree what area you want to go into. So this includes law, journalism, business, social work, linguistics, science, education, tribal and federal employment. Okay, so these are, again, a big range of different areas that you can work in. So I got an emphasis in social work. I believe they have one that's,
I think
they used to have one.
they used to have one, now it's just general.
General, okay. So again, these are a lot of the different areas that people can work in, so it doesn't just limit you to just a small area of working. Okay, so the requirements, you have to have the application. Again, 45 credit hours. You want to start looking at that as a freshman, sophomore. What courses can I take now that are going to help me in this area? So their cumulative GPA is going to be a little bit higher. It's going to be a 2.5. And you have to get a B or higher in the American Indian citizenship courses. So that could be intro to AIS. You have to have a B or higher to get into that program. And then you have to have a 200-word statement of what you're going to contribute to Haskell, to the program, as well as your community. And so what Michelle was talking about earlier is they're going to look at that paper and they're going to see how dedicated and committed you are to your education. So it's very important that you take the time to really work on that. If you need any help with that essay, you guys can come in and definitely will help you. But this is kind of, you know, when you turn in that application, they're not going to be able to see your faces. So what you provide them is what they're gonna take. So that's not your face value. Okay, so making sure that you have everything, and then making sure that it's in order. That's also important too. You don't want your papers just to be shuffled up together. So those are some of the requirements on that. So there is 2 deadlines. The one is coming up September 15th, and then we have one in February 15th. And again, it's due at 4 o'clock, so you want to make sure you don't wait until the last minute to get those. I think it does also ask for recommendation letters as well. And so with those recommendation letters, you don't want to wait till the last week. So if it's due, say it's due on Friday, you don't go and ask on Thursday, hey, could you write me a recommendation letter? I'm trying to get into AIS or business or whatever. So you want to make sure that you're planning way ahead of time, or right now, if you're really thinking about planning to get into those the 4-year programs. Ask your instructors and professors right now, because the deadline is coming up. I think 2 weeks then? Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's about
In
2
2 weeks, okay? So how many of you guys are applying? Is anybody applying? Or no? Just one person? Okay. All right. So last year we did a video, and so these are some of the students who are in the AIS program and why they wanted to go into AIS.
Good afternoon. My name is Sean Parrish. I'm the Haskell junior class representative. And I chose the AIS program because when I came to Haskell, I really didn't know about my native traditions. And being in this program allowed me to kind of get a more understanding about the policies and history too, and just made me expand and also made me think critically.
Hi, I'm Antonio Smith. I'm in the AIS program. I chose AIS to gain in-depth knowledge of indigenous nations across the United States.
Eric Anderson, Professor of History and American Indian Studies. This is a discipline that connects our students with issues that resonate across Indian country, and as an academic field, American Indian Studies focuses on rebuilding our sovereignty, revitalization of native heritage, language, and other initiatives.
I didn't really grow up on tribal reservation. I didn't really have that traditional connection. So when I came to Haskell and learned about the AIS department, I really got fully integrated into tribal history and tribal federal government relations and how history and trauma is still present within current communities. So definitely unraveling the past and going through all that trauma definitely helps see how it's shaping our community nowadays and how it's definitely shaping me as an indigenous person. So that's why I chose to go into the IAS program. Definitely, I really like how they implement aspects of activism and traditional and spirituality. It's really holistic.
Tribe, and I chose AIS because it's something that I always cared about.
Hey, can you tell me why students should take AIS?
It's a really good program, it's supportive.
My name is Calvin Smith, and I am a junior in the Indigenous and American Indian Studies program, and I am also currently the Student Senate President of 2017 and 2018. And why AIS is I want to learn more about how I can make a greater impact on my communities back on the reservation. AIS.
And then of course, gotta give our plug right for Trio. In a nutshell, we wanted to make sure that we gave you guys the information, not only about the 4-year programs, but what's going to be important while you're here at Haskell. So again, make sure that you look at that catalog. You want to understand these different terminologies to be helping you to be able to get those degree programs in a timely manner. And then again, we are here to help you guys. So if you have any more questions.
Just real quick, AIS contains a lot of reading and writing.
Oh, yes, this is right. Okay. So here's the difference in, like, if we're to do the breakdown.
All 4.
Okay, all 4, here's the breakdown. AIS, you are going to write your butt off, okay? Like a lot. So you're gonna write a lot and you're gonna read a lot. So there's a critical thinking. APA is going to be what you're gonna be using. It's social work. There's, what's that, APA?
APA says they're writing.
Yeah.
It's style.
So if that's not something that you like to do, just letting you know that that's what it's going to be. I picked AIS because I wasn't really good with numbers, but I could write and I could read a lot, so that's why I chose that degree program. Business, you're going to have a lot of math. You're going to have to do different types of math. Planning, management. So those are going to be some of the things that you're going to have to be looking forward to. When you go into environmental science, there's going to be a lot of terminology, a lot of different, again, math too is going to be also pertinent for that degree program. So math and then science, so terms, you're going to have to remember all of those. And then when you go into elementary education, you are on a set path.
Yes, you're on a set path. Once you get in the program, everything's set for you. You don't even have to think about what classes I'm going to take next semester because it is already planned for you. You get in, they tell you these are the classes you take, you enroll in those classes, you're good to go. So really, once you get in, your path is set. Elementary ed, of course, is going to involve you going into the classroom, working with students, observing teachers. So it's a lot of hands-on. You learn a lot of cool things, how to work with students, different ways to approach teaching rather than just sitting, talking, kind of like how we're lecturing now. With little kids, you learn hands-on because we all learn differently, so they teach you how to teach children different ways to meet their learning needs. So it's hands-on, planning, it's really fun. They teach you how to get kids' attention. So I think we covered all 4.
Yeah, so I think we got everything that we needed to cover. Hopefully it's very beneficial for you guys. Again, if you guys need any help with those applications, let's start working on them now. You have 2 weeks to get those taken care of. We do have some of those applications. We have 3 seminars next week that, I don't have my sheets.
They are MLA,
Okay, so here I go over this really quick. Make sure you guys get your surveys filled out and then we are good to go. Thank you guys for coming in and spending some time with us. So real quick, let me let you know what's happening on Tuesday. Make sure you guys do not come to class on Monday. No classes Monday, right? Right, okay. So Tuesday is MLA document. All three of them are gonna be at the library, okay? So 5 to 6 on Tuesday, MLA documents. If you need help in that area, we'll have somebody, Carrie's gonna be doing it. On Wednesday, how to write a research paper. Thursday, APA documents, okay? So if you need any help or are you just curious about making sure that you know how to do these, we have seminars next week, and it's gonna be 5 to 6, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with Carrie.
Also, regarding the next week's seminars, even if you know how to write APA or MLA or how to write a research paper, if you want a refresher, go, because believe it or not, those styles do change. The board or whoever makes these decisions, they do change from time to time. Just recently, APA was changed, I wanna say 2016, that was changed on how you, cite. So definitely, if you are familiar with them, just go get a refresher. You get 3 points if you go, 1 point if you watch it online, so yeah, just